Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host. Dysfunctional World.
I'm your boy Said, aka Mr. Let's Talk.
Screaming, let's talk.
What we talking about today?
When sorry is not good enough. That seems like a one-sided conversation.
Is it? I mean, because sometimes, well, that depends on which side you were talking about. But I was assuming that it was the women, so I was gonna say sometimes men. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, men feel that way.
Yeah.
But most of the time, that seems like a woman's plight, where she wants you to do more than just say sorry.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
But
yes,
from
yes.
time to time, when women do things like, "Oh, I cheated. I'm sorry."
You don't get a nigga back like that.
Nah, you don't get a nigga like that.
So it's gonna be one
I
of
was
them
just
type
messing with
things,
them
though.
girls. I was gonna get right back.
Right. So when sorry isn't good enough, and unfortunately, fellas, we on y'all head today.
Ooh,
We on the bruh's head today
duck.
because, like you said earlier, most of the time it is the women who are saying that. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Hey, you know what? I'm tired of it. Sorry ain't good enough no more. I've been asking you to do better. You've been saying you're gonna do better,
Right.
and you still ain't did it yet. So when sorry don't cut it no more, and this one is on the bruh's.
All right. When sorry don't cut it no more,
Mm-hmm.
that means the cheap tricks stop working, right? The flowers, the candy,
Mhm.
the cards.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta man up. You
got-
gotta take accountability. I know y'all don't want to hear that, and
Mhm.
y'all love to hear it when we say it to the women.
Right.
But y'all gotta take accountability too. You gotta accept the fact that you messed up,
Mhm.
and then make a conscious effort to change and do better, and not just be word playing around here.
Right. It's a time when you got to step up, get that 9-to-5 job that you said you never would have, right? Because you always was getting your money another way. Well, it's time for you to get you a job, a real job, provide, be a man, you know what I'm saying, that she know you can be, which is why she's so fed up with you, because the potential that you have, but you ain't living up to it, right? And however she met you is how she met you. No problem, right? But you gotta grow up, you gotta grow that, mature that, right? Even if you don't get out of it completely, it's a way that you do that. And y'all know what I mean by that.
Right.
So you can't be that dude standing on the corner your whole life.
Nah. You gotta move up into a corporate
You
office.
can't, right, you can't be that. So and let's take it out of that. Let's just
And
take
we're not saying you gotta turn into Jay-Z.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's not what we're saying.
We're not
That's
saying
what we're
that.
saying.
But you gotta aspire to do better than the norm.
if you 40 years old,
It's time to try a new trick.
right, and that's what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? But let's take it out of that and let's go to something like when it's cheating or constantly emotional hurt. It may not necessarily be cheating, but just emotional pain, right? Because we
Okay.
know that women are very emotional, way more emotional than we are.
Way more.
We can say something, 2 or 3 things, and they crying, right? It just is what it is, right? So, how long do you think that she's gonna take that? Take that. But how long you think she's gonna take that, deal with that,
until I get tired of doing it.
and you just keep telling her sorry? I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do better. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do better. I'm sorry.
At some point, actions speak so many more volumes than words.
Yes, it's much louder. And and I want to sound wrong, but like sometimes, fellas, when you trying to get back on your feet, you move too slow. Now I ain't saying you got to be up and on your feet, you know what I'm saying, like at the speed of light. But sometimes you got to put in a little bit more work than what you're doing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit more work than what you're doing because, I mean,
Either that or deal with the reality that somebody else is going to treat your girl a lot better than you are.
right? Absolutely. That's your only option right there.
As a man,
Right. Yeah.
these are your only choices.
Yeah.
Do better or somebody else will.
Right, and don't, like I said, you can't just be slow poking around, you know what I'm saying, taking your time. I don't know, you may not have your license. Slow poking around to get your license back, so now you can't really get a good job. You got to find a ride to work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
small stuff like that
It
that's
takes its toll.
right, that ends up putting you back majorly because you ain't got no consistent ride to work, or because you paying somebody $100 out your check that you really could be using somewhere else to help you out because
Right.
you didn't want to go get your license. Because you didn't want to go through the process, rather, of what it takes to get your license back. You see what I'm saying? So
At
it's like
most, you pay $800.
Right.
At most.
Like
on a real bad one that's been suspended, revoked,
mm-hmm.
suspended, you might pay $800.
You can get them back,
reinstated.
right? And if you don't want to get them back, you can always get an ID, just a freaking regular ID. Like this is stuff that a lot of women be talking about when they say a man ain't got his stuff together. Y'all be thinking that it's something major, bro. Like, no, I got a car or whatever it might be. But it's like you ain't got no ID or you ain't got no driver's license or simple stuff that costs a few dollars, that costs less than a sack that you just went out and bought, or the bottle that you bought at the club last night.
Wow.
That
Or
was-
the table.
That was $300. The table be $1,000 or something like that, and you could have spent $80.
Or
You know what I'm
800 and got
saying?
your
Or
license
$800, like
revoked.
you said, on the worst end. Worst come to worst, you got to pay everything $800, and you back ride legally. This be the stuff that they be talking about, y'all.
I'm
for
riding
real.
dirty.
Or if you ain't finished high school, right, and you ain't go back and take your GED test. Now you got a decent job. You probably like, let's say you work at a warehouse, right, and you've been there, so you're a supervisor. But guess what? If you had your
GED.
right now, maybe you
take
can
a
go
college
along and you
class.
take it right.
Now you can get a raise.
See, right, and these are the things that y'all be like, oh, women are nagging, and it's like, nah, bruh. She just know that you can be doing so much more, especially if you're gonna be in this path. And she like, hey, listen, man, listen. If he had his high school or GED, then he can get an associate's degree, and he can be a manager. You see what I'm saying? So this is how they be thinking for you sometimes, and it's like you won't do that though because you think she's trying to tell you what to do.
Sometimes
Come on, man.
they see in us what we don't see in
Oh,
us.
absolutely, absolutely, and that's what we talk about, the potential. You know, they see the potential, and it's like sometimes we don't want to let go of who we used to be, that person who we was when they met us, and it's like, bro, you got to mature out of that, or mature that if you're gonna remain that, mature that. You know, if that's what she's interested in, she's still like that bad boy, then keep a little edge on you. You know what I'm saying? So she still can be attracted to you, but be a grown man about it. Have a grown man edge to where she's still attracted to you. But you ain't got to be out here busting people aside the head because after a while, she's no longer attracted to that because now you costing y'all money.
Or putting your lives in danger.
Putting lives in danger. Y'all got to constantly move. She got to bail you out. She might lose a job over it. So that thug appeal, it starts to lose its appeal.
Listen, they love the thugs,
Yeah, absolutely, they love the bad guys, right?
but
Right.
they won't marry the thug. They marry the mature grown men.
And then creep off with the thug on the side. And this ain't about women's, but we were just saying because we know that they like that image. But like he said, they'll try to marry. No
good guy.
disrespect to him, but a Russell Wilson,
The good guy,
the good guy,
Jay-Z.
and then creep off with a
Jay-Z
future,
ain't
with a
in the streets
future.
no more.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and it just is what it is though. But bros got to get their stuff. And I ain't talking about the ones who won their game, y'all. So if this don't apply to y'all,
Just let it pass.
yeah,
Let it
just
pass.
don't be like, oh man, said and did, but tripping. No, don't be like that, y'all.
What about
Okay.
what about the men that they got a good job, but they're not growing up in the personality areas.
See, and those be the ones that make it bad for all the men who do have a good job because now they thinking every man who got a halfway decent job is an asshole because this dude didn't mature. He just got a good job, that's it, but he didn't mature because it's like with the two different type of things. You know what I'm saying? That shows that he know how to get it done working. You know what I'm saying? He know how to make money. Okay, cool. But personally, he's a jerk. Nobody want to be around him. You an asshole, bro.
Or you just don't got a personality. Period.
You immature. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to understand that you got to be a grown man about this thing. Just because you're making the money, you got to act like you know how to make this money.
Yes. You got to act like you know what
You know what I'm saying? Just because you're making it, that don't automatically put you up there if your characteristic as a man ain't already there. You got some work to do.
A lot.
You have some work. You know what I'm saying? If you make, and I'm just gonna make up a number. Let's say somebody making $100,000 a year, right? $100,000 a year. It make no sense to go out and go get gold chains, the nicest car you can, you know what I'm saying? Like all this other stuff, because you're gonna realize, one, this shows you ain't matured yet because you don't understand that you making 100,000, but you didn't make 100,000. You ain't take home 100,000. You didn't take home 100,000. So before you know it, you in debt. You in debt because you trying to spend like you just made 100,000. So that shows a maturity level. Once again, this is what women be talking about when they say you got to be on your stuff. Some of us, you know what I'm saying, take it as, oh, they tripping, they trip. Now, of course, once they start getting specific about certain things, then yes, that's when we say, okay, they kind of, you know what I'm saying, going off the rail a little bit. But just overall, generally, when they speak about being on your stuff, this is the type of stuff they talking about. When they talk to you about medical insurance, you may not have it, but at least know how to have a conversation about it because it shows that you care about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what she's
Taking
looking
care
at.
of your health.
Right, that's what she's looking at. Okay, well, he may not have it yet, but at least when we sat down to have the conversation, he had looked into it about his job. He looked into it to see if they had it. He can tell me what they offer, and I can, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they know, they'll look at that and be like, okay, yeah, this brother on this stuff. But if he just be like, well, no, and that's it, just no.
No.
In her head, she like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And
He's still a little boy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still a little boy in a grown man body.
Exactly, like that kind of stuff. That type of stuff women be talking about. That's the kind of stuff. And like I said, y'all, for the brothers out there, if this don't apply to y'all, let it, you know what I'm talking about?
If it does apply to y'all, man up.
Man up.
Accept it. Take
Accept it.
responsibility.
Yes.
Become who you are meant to be, my brother.
Yes. The same way we ask the women to listen to us, we got to listen to those women who are speaking sense as well.
Those women speaking sense.
Yes.
Not all women. Just the ones
The
speaking
one-
positive affirmation and life into you.
And the brothers know,
You know the difference.
they know the difference. They know the ones who are speaking truth. You know why? Because those be the main ones they try to avoid. Because they know she going to be on your head when she see you. Because you done messed up. And you know it.
Head chop.
She going to be on you. She going to be on you. And you like, I don't even want to go around auntie. I don't want to go around big sis. I don't even go around my girl. You see what I'm saying? Them the ones who love you who going to be on your head. And you don't want to face that accountability. You don't want to face it. Well, all right, y'all.
With that being said, you know me by now. I'm your host. Dysfunctional world.
I'm your boy Said, a.k.a. Mr. Let's Talk. We out of time till the next time.
Screaming, let's talk.
Peace.
Peace.